back with yet another Mezcal review. This one caught me by surprise. I went to go pick up a bottle at a store in the city and said, I think I've got one bottle here to pick up. They said, no, you got two. I forgot I ordered it. But I know I ordered it just because it sounded very interesting. They said that they don't get a lot of these in, and so I thought, let's give it a try. This is, I'm assuming it's like Koch, I think that's what it is. So I looked up the place I bought it from. They had a little bit of a history there. Carlos Moreno is the gentleman who kind of runs the families to make this brand. They deal in wild agave, not cultured. They have 3 different palenques, or the places where they make the mezcal, and they each have their own different style. This one deals in ancestral mezcal. It says it's ancestral right there. So this is my first one that's ancestral, and it's made. The area where it's made is Sola de Vega, which is down here, and all the other ones that I've had have been artisanal, and this one's ancestral. So it's still roasted in the ground. This one is crushed by hand with wooden mallets, as opposed to all the other ones I've had so far have been crushed with the big stone tahoma, the big round wheel that's kind of taken around a pile of the roasted agave by an animal. And then this is distilled and fermented in clay jars, so it doesn't use copper pots for the distillation. So I looked up the technical differences between artisanal and ancestral, because a lot of the things that artisanal can also apply to ancestral. So the biggest difference for ancestral is it can't use copper pots for distillation, and you have to use the fibers from the crushed agave in the fermentation and distillation, whereas artisanal you can or don't have to. But anyway, in theory, this is like the way that it was made way back in the day. And I didn't look up, it didn't have any tasting notes in what I read about this, and I didn't pursue it any farther because I was just curious. So pop it open and find, that's interesting. It's got a really cool wooden top here, but then it doesn't even look like fake cork. It's like this rubber, almost looks like a nipple from a baby's bottle. That's different. Again, I think I apologize for the sound on the last video. We've got that kind of weather pattern right now where the planes are being super loud. The sound is carrying, and anyway, should have mentioned Maguey Espadín from Oaxaca. Let's give it a sniff. Nothing too different about this one. Got the typical agave sweetness and earthiness. Maybe a little sweeter. It's pretty sweet on the nose. And not a lot of pepper on the nose. I guess that's the biggest distinction so far between this and the other ones I've had, is that usually it's a combo between the sweet and a sharp pepper, and the sharp pepper note on the nose of this is a lot less. Well, that's different. There's very little sweetness on the front end. Again, normally I get the sweet and then it transitions into the pepperiness. It's almost like an alcohol heat, like it's a lot higher ABV than the other ones. I was just looking at this, it's very specific. 48.88%, which, I don't know, maybe in Mezcal it makes more of a difference. Find out in scotches, I like barrel proof stuff and all that, and they don't taste hot to me. This one kind of tastes hot on the front end. Well, I'm liking this one. It seems to be very well integrated. It doesn't have, again, I talk about the two notes, the sweet and the pepper kind of hitting differently or integrated. This doesn't have much sweet. It's there, not compared to the other ones. But then also the pepper isn't a sharp, what I would think of as a white pepper or something. It's more of an earthy, I don't know how to even explain it, earthy black pepper. It's still not like a fruit vegetable type pepper. It's more like a spice type pepper, but it also has an earthy note, kind of a roundness to it. And kind of what I think of as the agave taste is throughout the whole taste of it. It's not just at the beginning, and it continues on through the finish. The finish isn't just pepper. It has that kind of agave greenness. I want to say kind of weedy type taste, but you know, who tastes weeds? But it's like kind of the sense of that, right? Kind of like from the earth, but green, but a little bit prickly, but it's not this hot pepper. And so I would think for ease of drinking, I've been looking for something that's kind of sweet through the whole thing. But in terms of, and that would be, right, that would be like your Kool-Aid, soda pop, whatever type of drinking, where it doesn't require much thought. You can sip on it all night and not have to think about it. Most of the other mezcals, I would think I have to be in the mood for and want to really kind of think about that flavor profile. This is more towards, you don't necessarily have to think about it because it doesn't have that hot pepper note that for me takes a little bit of an effort to deal with, that I wouldn't say I enjoy. It's more interesting, but because it lacks that, and it's not just sweetness overpowering it, making it too simple, it's interesting. I would say so far, this is my favorite one. I don't know how easy it is to find. The place I bought it from, on their notes on their website, kind of says once they get it, it's hard to get. Once they get it, it goes pretty quickly. But if you want to try to look it up, K&L Wines is where I got this and some other ones. Check it out. Catch you next time.